Hello and welcome to Painting the Cape. My name is Lance, and we're having a rainy day on Cape Cod today, so we've had a couple of requests to do a session on just color and the colors I use. So we're going to go through those first. The first one is Burnt Sienna. That's a transparent color, makes it easy to draw with. The next color is orange. Then we have permanent alizarin crimson. Lemon yellow. Turquoise. And French ultramarine blue. And of course, our trusty titanium white. Now I have a little case that I carry these in, and just like my palette, I have those in order. So I don't have to guess and try to figure out where my paint is. I know exactly where the tubes are, so I can grab them easy, especially when you're painting outside and the light is moving so quick. So with those 7 colors, I'm going to mix the in-between colors, so we'll have a total of 14 colors. So the first thing we're going to do is take orange and mix it with a little bit of alizarin crimson, and that gives us a warm red. Then I put it over here, and you can see that this is much warmer. Colors go in 2 different directions. They either go towards yellow or they go towards blue. And the more yellow you have in a color, the warmer it is. And the more blue you have in a color, the cooler it is. Now the next color we're going to mix is purple. So we need alizarin crimson and ultramarine blue. This is actually French ultramarine blue, which means it's a little purplier. Anyway, I'm going to mix those together. And you can see how dark that's getting. Purple is the darkest color on your palette. So now I'm having a hard time seeing what color is that. Is that black? Is that purple or what? So I use a touch of white and I put it right there, and I can see that it's working out okay. You can see it's purpley. So now I gather that up, scoop it up, and put it in place. Now what we're going to do is take the blue, the ultramarine blue, and we're going to bend that towards green. So I start here. I keep everything in this close to the same pile so I can keep bending. I know where I am. So now I'm using lemon yellow and mixing that I'm going to have a warm and cool of each of the colors. If I want to warm it up a little bit, I add a little orange. Orange is the warmest color of all the colors. So I can warm that up a little bit. And you can see how that is. And I'll put that over here. And to get all the paint off that knife, I scrape it with another one and stick it on there. Now the next color we're using is turquoise. Turquoise has a little bit more blue in it, so that makes a brighter green. I mix it with yellow, lemon yellow, and you can see how much brighter that is. So if it has more yellow, it's the warm. So this is a warm or warmer. So this is kind of like a sap green, and this is more of a permanent green light. I keep wiping my palette knives clean. Now I'm going to take the lemon yellow, which is cool, because the lemon yellow has a little bit of green in it, which has blue in it. And I'm going to add a little bit of orange. So you can see the difference between this yellow and this yellow. This is like the color cadmium yellow medium. So I've got cadmium yellow medium for the warm yellow and lemon yellow for the cool yellow. Now we're going to mix 4 grays. And the way you mix gray is you take a little purple and you mix it with the green. I might need to mix more green up. I mix it until I can't tell the difference between if it's purple or green, kind of like that. And then I test it by adding a little white to it. So now what I want to do is I want to make that darker. So I use a little bit more purple. And I'm going to have to make up some more green. I didn't make up enough. So we make green again by mixing ultramarine and orange. That makes a dull, kind of a sap green. So you can tell I need a little bit more blue in there. bit more. And then I add some purple to it. It's much darker. That's good. A little bit more like that. And I've got to test it because I can't really tell what color that is. So add a little white to it. And you see it's purpley still, so that means I have to add a little bit more green. And I just keep bending that color till I get the color that I'm looking for. Let me test this. See, now we're getting, it's grayer now. So that'll be good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 4 different grays. I'm going to mix 2 darks and one is just slightly darker than the other one, so that's the darkest, let's say. Add a little bit more white. Make the next one dark. You want to have enough change so you can see the difference. If you can't see the difference, add whatever color you need to make it sweet. See, I can definitely see this is darker and this is the next. So now, 2 darks, and then I want to have a big space. I don't want the next one to be close to that. I want the next one to be further away, so there's a light side and the dark side of an object. So 2 dark ones and 2 light ones of gray. That looks about right. So I put that next to it. See the big jump between there and there? And then the last one, a light gray also. Grays are very important. So now it's a pretty big jump. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of this mixture to this one. So these two are close together, but you can definitely tell the difference of them. So those are the 2 light ones, the light grays, and those are the 2 dark grays, like that. So now we have, let's see how many colors we have. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 colors. So, no, I'm sorry, that's not right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Am I missing a color here? Let's see. No, I think I've got everything. So I started off with 7, and I make the other 7. Now I kind of clean off my palette here. And now we're going to go through, while why I use each color that I use. Okay, the first color, if I'm going to draw something, I use the burnt sienna, this one here. And the reason I use burnt sienna is because burnt sienna is a transparent color. I'm using a rag or a tissue. I'm just going to do it with my fingers here. And I get a little bit of that. See how that's transparent there? That way, let's say I'm drawing a face. So I can just zing it in like that, like doing an egg. So I have a dark side and a light side. Indicate where the eye sockets are, the shadow on the nose and the mouth. And then I can lighten it up for the light side, so it's still there, but just a little bit lighter. Now let's say I want to change something or I want to get rid of something. I can just take a rag and just pull it away. That's what's nice about the transparent color at first. It's easy to take off, add on, however you want to do it. And then what I usually do is I'll take my palette knife and I'll take, let's say, purple, and just dot around there. That's going to be this big, and oops. Well, let me show you a different way here. I'm going to take this head off here. So I can put this on, take it off a million times, and it just comes right off really easy. That's why I start with that. Okay, so let's say I'm trying to make a circle. I take my purple and just make dots. It's going to be this high, this wide, and in between. This needs to come in a little bit so I can make adjustments. So by dotting, I can figure out exactly where I want everything to be. So I use the purple on that. Then I can go back and take my burnt sienna. Let's say the sun's coming this way. It's got to be like that. This is the shadow side. And then this is the shadow, like that. But in any case, what I wanted to show you mainly is that it's easy to draw, put on, take off with the burnt sienna. So I use that. Now I'm going to quickly go over what is a warm red, what is a warm color and a cool color. Let's say, we'll start with red. Wipe that off. So we're going to take a alizarin crimson, which has a lot of blue in it, which makes it cool, cooler than, let's say, cadmium yellow, cadmium red light. You see how this one has more yellow in it? Now it's got more blue in it, and that's what, this is warm and this is cool for the red. Now, if we're doing purple, the dioxin purple, I'm gonna add a little white to it so you can see it. That's got a lot of blue in it. And the red is actually a reddish purple. I can put a little pull that one off. So you can see that this is a warm purple. This is a cool purple. Now let's go on to blues. This is French ultramarine blue. I'll put a little white in that so you can see. See how purpley blue that is? And this is a greenish blue. When I add a little bit of white to it, see, okay, I'll get that rid of that. I'm going to put a touch of this in here. But in any case, you can tell this has more yellow in it, so that's the warm one, and this is the cool one. Now in green, this is like a dark sap green. I'm going to lighten it up a little bit so you can see it. If I want to add a little bit more greenish to it, I put the medium yellow in there. a kind of a dark green. It's got a lot of red in it. Now I'm going to take turquoise and mix it with some yellow. And you can see that makes a much warmer. If I want it even cooler, I can use lemon yellow. So we have a warm and a cool green. Now for the yellow, we have the lemon yellow, which has a little bit of blue in it. It's almost green. And then we have the cadmium yellow medium, which has a little bit more orange in it. You can see that this is warm and that's cool. We're going to move ahead, so if you need to rewind and look at this a few times. Now we have to make some grays, and we make the gray out of purple and green. Like we did before, and make the different grays there. So, and then I always test it with so now let's get into the three different dynamics of color. I would recommend starting off with just three primaries: the alizarin, the ultramarine blue, and the lemon yellow. And just work with those until you can get all the other secondary colors. So those are the primary colors, and the secondary colors are orange, green, and purple. Let me show you a little diagram here. So there's the value, which goes from dark to light. And there's the different color, like let's say we use orange, or it could be red, or whatever color you're using. Now, if the sunlight is coming from this side, it's going to be a little bit warmer on this side. And on the other side, it'll be a little bit cooler. So on the sun side, it's warmer. On the sky side, it's cooler. So you've got warm and cool. Now the next thing is, as these go back, let's say these are going back like this. As they go back, they get duller. So right here close is bright, and out here is dull. Sorry for my finger there. And so there's three different aspects. There's warm and cool. Well, first of all, there's light and dark, warm and cool, or bright and dull. Let me show you a dull. For example, if I use I don't know, orange again. So that's nice and bright. As that goes further back, it grays down. So let's say I'm going to gray it down a little bit over here. I'm going to put a little bit of this in it here. You can see how that's getting duller. And as it moves closer to the bright, it gets a little brighter and brighter. Until we get to the brightest. So you're always thinking about those three things. Is it lighter or darker? Is it warmer or cooler? Is it brighter or duller? Okay, now we're going to jump in how colors are made. We start off with the primary colors. You can't make the primary colors, you can only go from there. So the primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. Instead of like red, white, and blue, the flag, it's red, yellow, and blue. And if you mix the red with the yellow, you'll get an orange. And if you mix the yellow with the blue, you'll get a green. And if you mix the blue with the red, you'll get a purple. I got to add a little white so we can see that. So from the primaries, we can make the secondaries. And now for the tertiaries, we take these and we'll take the orange and a little bit of purple. Maybe too much purple, so I'm gonna do that differently. I'm gonna take yellow, and a little bit of purple. And this is a dull yellow ochre. You can see that this is a dull version of that. Now I can take orange and a little bit of blue, more orange, and make a burnt sienna. And I can take purple and green and make a gray. White, gray, and black, all those colors act like it's blue. For example, if I take, here's a blackish gray, and I add that to yellow, blue and yellow make green. So we put this together, it turns into green. So once again, white, gray, and black act like they're blue. So there we have it. The primaries, the secondaries. The secondaries are made from the primaries, and the tertiary colors, the last, are made from the secondaries. Okay, that's a lot to work on. So experiment and be patient with yourself. See you next time.